Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
The Game Sports Show would like to thank an additional sponsor and additional home to the Game Sports Show, Sportscenter Bar and Grill. Sportscenter Bar and Grill, located on 624 Wellington Street West, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Sportscenter rated top sports bar for the second year in a row. At Sportscenter, enjoy their famous 75-cent wing night along with delicious Molson products on tap, along with a great atmosphere and other great food options available as well. Sportscenter Bar and Grill, the Sioux's best sports bar.
Booyah, and it's time for the Game Sports Show, the Twin Sioux's only local, regional, and national sports show. You're listening to the show on thegamesportshow.com, thegamesportshow.podbean.com, or through the Scott Nason YouTube channel. It may have also been directed here through our Facebook page or our Instagram page at The Game Sports Show on Facebook, at The Game Sports Show SSM on Instagram. We're here live. It is Wednesday, January the 23rd, 2019 at Sportscenter Bar and Grill. We're here for its famous wing nights, 75-cent wings, delicious beer, delicious Molson products on tap here, great atmosphere, great food for the Sioux's best sports bar, named for the third year in a row. Not one, not two, 3 times, which is pretty awesome. Frank Liguori and staff do a fantastic job here for Sault Ste. Marie, providing you the best bar sports-wise in Sault, Ontario. I'm here alongside Justin Hykel and Jamie Antonello, and I'm going to bring in the fellas in just a few moments. Just going to get through the usual introduction portion of the show here. And while we record the show, we've got our fancy mic going again. We've got 2 different recording devices going on here, so hopefully the clarity is good on your end. I want to say thank you for joining us here on the Game Sports Show. Tonight we have our In the Pocket segment, as always on Wednesdays from Sportscenter Bar and Grill. We got to talk about the AFC Championship, the NFC Championship, and I know Jamie Antonello here has a lot to say about that New Orleans Saints game against the LA Rams and that non-call. It's been absolute fire this week. Petitions going around, and I know I can just imagine how the Game Sports Show's own Dustin Grondin was reacting at that game as well, along with all the Saints fans. All I can see is all the videos that were uploaded. And do they have a case? We're going to talk about that, along with a lot of good games from the Football League this past week. Must say it was very good playoff matchups in the NFC and NFC games. Must say Tom Brady pulls out the win over the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in overtime and goes on the internet on Barstool and has the upload with the song Going Nowhere. Got classic stuff from Tom Brady. Just great stuff that we're going to cover here on the Game Sports Show. And then we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. After our break, we're going to come back and talk about the New England Patriots against the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Pro Bowl as well. And then to close off the show, we're going to talk about some roundtable discussion, mostly about the Toronto Raptors and the NBA to close out the show. And as I said at the top, you may have been directing it through our Facebook page. If you're on the Facebook page, do not hesitate to hit that like button if you have not liked the show already, which shame on you if you have not, for the Twin Cities only local, regional, national sports show. But can't forget, if you look down at some of the posts, there's a post that I put up a week and a half ago that we have a contest giveaway, and that'll be a live Facebook draw, which will be next week, that we have prizes from our sponsors, from North Spear Brewing Company, from Sportscenter Bar and Grill, and amongst our other sponsors, and also our partners, the Sioux Thunderbirds and the Sioux Greyhounds, where we have prizes as well. And I'm starting to give a little bit of tips on what it is, so get your likes in there. Your name will be entered into a draw that we're going to draw live on Facebook. You get a chance to win that prize that's worth a lot of money, let me say, just by simply hitting like on Facebook. Now, fellas, let's bring in the boys here. I got the man to my left, Justin Hykel, is joining me here. I got the guy in front of me. Big part of this Wednesday show, just a big part of the show all in general. New Orleans Saints fan, had to give him a nice introduction because I'm sure he's a little sour this week. Jamie Antonello, we'll go to the guy to my left here first. Justin, how you doing, sir?
Not bad. Happier that I'm now inside, away from the blustery shit show we've had the last couple of days going on.
Winter's here.
It's either minus 40 or there's 12 feet of snow. Figure it out.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Or it's raining penalties.
It's raining. Wow.
Or lack thereof.
That's a great way to open the In the Pocket segment. Just a few moments. Guy in front of me, Jamie, you're having a water tonight. Both you and Justin having waters, and I'm the only one drinking a neutral and a beer. I did actually go to the gym before you.
We don't believe you.
What gym did you go to?
Jamie and I were up at the old parking lot here, lifting bumper for the truck, regular West End guy.
Ever seen Rocky 4?
Yeah,
that's what you guys do? That's impressive.
I mean, bad radio, but can't you tell?
Yeah, you guys are in great shape.
Physiques.
Chiseled.
I actually did arms and core today at the gym before I came here.
Are you drinking a neutral?
That's why I'm drinking it. Jamie, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right. I mean, from a football fan perspective, 2 overtime games on championship weekend. I mean, you can't really ask for better. I'm bitter. We're officially in completely out podcast. Steelers, Colts, Saints, Giants, all eliminated. And so I mean, we got no hay in the Super Bowl now, so a little bit more objective. But I mean, I'll get into it a little bit more. I'd rather not start the evening off on a tirade. But
How did our bracket shake out?
Actually, about the brackets, yours truly had the Rams and Chiefs. I had chosen the Rams to win the Super Bowl. So I'm kind of the last one standing in the brackets. Kind of. Not a perfect bracket.
I was gonna say, how do we
Not a
shake
perfect
that out?
bracket.
Because I feel like I had like 7 right. It's gotta count for
I think
something.
we got to do a point system, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get our first round pick correctly.
Yeah.
1 point to the Super Bowl winning score.
You know what we'll
And
do?
the tiebreaker. I don't know.
You know what we'll do? We'll on the next
Arm wrestle.
after the Super Bowl is concluded, when we have our last kind of in the pocket show for a couple of weeks, we'll calculate those scores, and the winner gets a picture of beer to themselves.
We'll put them in the computer. Let it tabulate.
We'll tabulate that and give you the winner.
It'll spit on a slip.
There's gonna be a bonus when you
Numbers.
pick the Super Bowl winner because I picked the winner. I think
The bonus is a night with Dave.
that's a good one. Night Dave and a free massage. Wow.
Unfortunately, most of our listeners are men. So, I mean, whatever floats the boat.
And you were the only one that potentially picked the Super Bowl winner, so it's a solo date with yourself.
I love it.
And a massage.
Oh, now you're. Wow. Okay.
Hopefully Dane's out that night.
Close the blinds, put on some music.
Some slow Marvin Gaye.
Feel bad for your neighbors.
Oh, actually, I have a neighbor below. Okay, I can't get into that. That's inappropriate. I won't get into it. It's actually kind of rude. I'll stop my statement there. But apparently, sometimes somebody walks too loud in my apartment, and I'm never home. Someone has heavy feet. I know we're kind of going off topic here, but one time we had a complaint in our apartment, and it was because someone was walking too loud
You know
upstairs.
what my answer to that is? What? Fuck. That's like I had a person underneath me that used to complain about like made too much noise in the apartment upstairs. Oh, you eat cabbage 7 days a week. Stop boiling cabbage.
You smell the cabbage?
Yeah, like all I smell is boiled cabbage. And their bathroom is right at the bottom of the stairs, so it smelled like assholes and boiled cabbage.
So we throw up.
And-
They got fat bastards throwing up Austin Powers.
I had my truck for a day, and that bitch dragged the stupid recycling bin down the side. That's still the only dent to date I have in my truck. 6 years in.
Wow, that's.
Cabbage lady.
Well, then all I gotta say is,
Struck for
I guess matters could be worse, but I can promise you.
We hit a nerve.
I can promise you it's not me that walks too loud. I can promise you. But fellas, we're going to get into our show where we're going to dive right in and talk about the National Football League, obviously, because that is the main football content that we're going to be discussing here with our In the Pocket segment. And I want to get started actually with the Rams and the Saints, which is the NFC Championship. If that's good. I want to start with a boom right now. I know you said you didn't want to start the show with that, Jamie, but we're gonna go there, okay? Rams pull off a 26-23 victory over the Saints, winning by a field goal, Super Bowl. Wow, I'm already calling them the Super Bowl winners, but winning by a field goal. New Orleans came out hot, 14-0 in the first quarter. Then the Rams shut out the Saints second quarter. Then it was some good back and forth football in the second half. You know, and I really feel that this New Orleans Saints did a great job on shutting down Todd Gurley. He only had 10 yards. I know he had a touchdown.
No. Sean McVay did a good job shutting
Sean-
down Todd Gurley. We didn't do anything. We just started playing CJ.
CJ had 44 yards, no touchdown, 16 carries. Gurley did have a touchdown, though, on 4 carries and 10 yards. But Braden Cooks led the Rams in receiving with 107 yards receiving. Jared Goff had a pretty good outing with one TD, though, one INT, almost 300 yards. Talk about the Rams. If you want to go to the New Orleans Saints way, Drew Brees, 206, well, 26 for 40 on his throw to yard attempts, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. You had Ingram with 31 yards on 9 carries, Alvin Kamara 8 carries on 15 yards. Receiving, though, Kamara had 96 yards. Ted Ginn, 3 catches, third time's a charm, 58 yards. Just to go down the list, ball distributed a lot by Drew Brees, as it would be. Just going through the statistics there on the game. It was all in all, though, a very good football game. Despite what happened in that football game that we're going to get to in a few moments, it was all that game lived up for. That was the game that I was looking forward to more than the AFC Championship, to be totally honest with you, because of just the quarterback talent you have, the team talent. Those are the two deepest teams, I feel. And whoever wins that game, I said was going to win the Super Bowl. And I did pick the Rams to win that game and go on to win. But New Orleans, they had something stolen from them, which would have been that football game. But we're going to dive into that. Jamie, I'm going to go to you first as a New Orleans Saints fan. Talk about the game. How exciting was the game? And then how you felt when that play was not called pass interference.
Yeah, I mean, to be
Let it
honest,
out, bud. Let it out.
To be honest, right off the hop, when Dan Arnold dropped that touchdown in the end zone to start the game, I was a little worried. I mean, Ben Watson wasn't playing. That was an issue. And then Josh Hill goes down in the first quarter. Top two tight ends gone. And then Garrett Griffin, of all people, who was activated this week just for playing just as a depth guy at tight end, catches a touchdown pass. But Dan Arnold dropped it, kicked the field goal. Then we pick off. Then Demario Davis, great pick. I mean, right off of Gurley's hands. I mean, but still opportunistic. And then we have to kick the field goal again. We can't capitalize. We don't score a touchdown on either of those. And I was really worried when that happened that something was going to come up and bite us. Because if you add those 4 points, even with that field goal, the Rams have to score a touchdown to tie us, to force overtime at the end. Difference maker. I mean, hindsight's 20/20 and whatever, but Drew was off a little bit. I mean, he played well overall, but I mean, that Rams D-line is ridiculous.
Oh, Don,
And
Sue.
at key times, they got big pass rushes. And I mean, people are harping Sean Payton for his clock management at the end there. I actually like the play call. That was an incomplete pass to Thomas because he might have scored. It gets tipped at the line. What are you going to do? Things happen. I mean, unfortunately, I saw somebody this week brought up, oh, well, if Drew was 6'5", that wouldn't have got tipped. I was like, get real, dude. Like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. The guy's going to the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best QBs ever. Get lost. And, I mean, then you have the non-call, which
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
I mean, recreated in Madden already, and even they got it right. But I think I don't have to say much more than Sean Payton. I was kind of expecting him to have a comment and get fined in the post-game presser.
Would have been worth it.
I think a lot of fans wanted him to. I did in the time, and he was really good. But he said as soon as he went inside, he called Al Riveron, who's the head of officiating for the league, and Al told him they got it wrong. Like straight up said, we fucked it up, and what do you do at that point? And I mean, Michael Thomas is petitioning Roger Goodell and everybody. I mean, they're not going to reschedule the game, even though it's in the rules. It'd be ridiculous to do it, but it's not going to happen. And bottom line, I mean, it'd be a lot different if we were trying to score. It'd be a lot different if we didn't have a chance in overtime, I think. And it just killed me. I was texting Dustin the whole time, and then we pretty much just stopped talking in the fourth quarter because we were both losing our minds until the stupid non-penalty happened. But, I mean, Greg Zuerlein still hit an absolute nuke to win the game. 57 would have been good from 87. Like, it was like at the top of the uprights. Would have hit like the second bowl, I think. He nuked that thing. So, I mean, he's a good kicker. There's nothing you can do. I mean, shit happens. I'm annoyed. I'm going to be, and I think it's one of those things you're going to hold on to for a long time, right? Like, Cowboys still hold on to the Des Bryant, no catch, whatever thing. I heard somebody this week say that this is penance for Bountygate, and I'm like, it's kind of funny. That was 2009, though, but, man, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
It's honestly, when you think of that, all right, we talked about this on the show on Monday from the Wicked Sister, which you can hear scrolling down there on the Podbean page with myself, Scott Nason, DJ Russell, and Butch Davis. And I will tell listeners just quickly that we did not have a show Sunday at Icebreakers or Tuesday. Both of them were rescheduled due to yours truly not feeling well. So I will say right now that we had a lot of reaction that could cover this entire week. We could have talked about it. We talked about it Monday. We could talk about it Tuesday. We could talk about it tonight. We could talk about it tomorrow at Northern Superior. But the CFL actually has this rule right. And just kind of quick to say is that they can go. Jamie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they can go and check the video replay. They have different kind of rules in place that could have reversed that call. Okay, and will the NFL, I'm going around to you guys, bring in a new rule just because this play happened? Will this be looked at in terms of future games? Because you know what I like is the realistic element of the game. Okay, that's what you don't want to take away from it. It's like challenges in hockey. People are upset that you could challenge offside, you could challenge certain goals and challenge this after the goal, and if it's already been called a goal, I get it. But football has had those challenges. It's a part of that game, and I think it's important that they can get this call right. And I feel that if you go back, that call changes obviously the entirety of the game, like completely the entirety of the game. But is it a good idea to bring in that element? Justin, what do you first?
I mean, I only see number one, the NFL has an issue with the games being too slow. That's a huge issue as far as TV goes, because I mean, as a viewer, how many commercials did you watch this year? In correlation to actual game time, how many truck bumps did you live through, knowing that 0% financing was available on every model, including the fancy new tailgate?
The tailgate, I was just gonna say,
unbelievable. Not going to work in Northern Ontario winter tailgate.
Not built for big boy tailgate.
You're not going to be able to just break it down, have these people overanalyze every play of the game. But, okay, this was a bad one. This was a bad no call. There's a couple bad no calls on off face masks in the game, but it's football. That happens. It's shitty that the game, New Orleans kind of got a job 2 years in a row. Not really. Last year was a bad beat.
Last year was completely on New Orleans. Wasn't on the refs at all. But
last year was
still,
a
it's
bad beat.
two heartbreaking losses.
This year was a bad beat, but the refs had a play in it. Zerline still had to make that kick.
Yeah.
But to get back to the making PI reviewable. Number one, they're only going to review defensive pass interference. They're not ever going to look into offensive pass interference. So you further kind of criminalize the secondary players who might as well put their hands tied behind the back.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think that was kind of a case of this new NFL procedures where you don't have to get physical to make a play. If that ball's going up to a tight end, he's probably going to get physical and make that play.
Yeah.
But because it's on the outside of the field, going to the sideline, he's going to flop, flail, try to do whatever. I mean, it was a bad no call. I'm trying to change my stance on it.
I mean, Tommy Lee Lewis is a little dude. He's a gadget guy. He's our kick returner. He's like that extra dude on offense.
I'd like to see it still have like a tougher element of football. I'd like to see them let the receivers and the corners play. And if you start making pass interference reviewable, then you're going to see a lot of that stuff just go away. And you're just going to be throwing bombs all day.
It kind of takes away from, I think, the momentum of the game as well. If you want to go that road, there are a lot of constant reviews if that happens. But still, that's a call that you have to get right. I don't know how the ref wouldn't have seen that. Is what I don't understand. Look at different angles.
No, but
that's what I don't understand. It's like you can miss a face mask maybe, or maybe I'm incorrect, but you correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie. But you might miss a face mask. You might miss a minor interference.
I think
that's major interference.
I think what you're kind of getting at more, Dave, is stuff like in the tackle box. You get away with a lot more things. It's tighter. There's more bodies in there. I mean, on that side, I know they're the only guys there. I mean, should have been called 110%. And the league officials already said so. They've already come out and said it. Whatever. We got to move on at some point. The big thing is I hope change comes from this in some form. I mean, I just brought up the Des Bryant catch. The catch rule changed because of that, right? They changed the wording. They went back to more, does it look like a catch? Do you think it's a catch? Okay, it's a catch. It's more or less. And now there's way less speculation because for 2 years leading up to that Des Bryant moment, there was some stuff that was like, okay, I'm pretty sure he took like 5 steps and still had it, but they called it no catch. But to what you were saying, Justin, about making everything reviewable, the CFL, and Dave, you brought this up, the CFL has already done this. Now, Canadian and American game,
Yeah,
still very different. Mostly the big thing, I mean, being 3 down is different. A lot more pass happy. But the big thing is the way the clock works in Canadian football. It stops after every play with inside of 3 minutes. It doesn't start up again until the whistle blows. All right, you don't have to spike the ball. Also, when the clock hits 0, you can still run a play. So it's built in. It's a faster paced game from that perspective. But when the CFL first brought it in, they had massive issues with timing the games because CFL and the NFL had the same challenge rule. You get 2, if you get both right, you get a third. What the CFL had to do halfway through that season was say you get 1 challenge the whole game, no matter if you get it right or wrong. That's it. And we may end up in a point like that. I don't know if the NFL is ready for that. And in the CFL, I honestly don't think it's made that big of a difference because of the fact that you only get 1. But what happens though is they can review anything on the field. So if you say I think 28 had holding, and they find that 21 on the other side of the field had illegal contact, they'll still call the illegal contact. But for the sake of it, again, that's 1 challenge, and you're talking about booth review inside of 3 minutes, which is the most important time. So, and realistically, I mean, that would have been a booth review call.
Yeah.
At that point in the game, we're inside 2 minutes, just barely inside 2 minutes, but
I was upset.
It was inside 2 minutes regardless.
You can't challenge that, eh? That's not you can't challenge that. But
So
okay.
you can't challenge
That's what I was.
anything that's a judgment call, basically, right now. It's black and white stuff that you can challenge. Was his foot in? Can I see green grass between his foot and the sideline? Did the ball cross the plane? You can challenge stuff like that. You can't challenge, was it holding? Was it a face mask?
Not
stuff's-
interference.
Any judgment call from a ref is. Something's going to come of this.
Oh yeah, there is.
Whether it's emotion this year and then it starts to get pushed more. But the NFL has shown in the last couple of years that it doesn't need to take 2 or 3 years to get a new rule put in, that it can happen in an offseason,
Right.
which never happened like pre-2012. I'll tell you that right now. You used to take forever to get anything moving, and then we kind of saw everything start getting pushed ahead, and as it's become a more offensive game and defensive players, they make it a lot harder on them. I mean, there's no more just absolute murder shots across the middle. Everything's defenseless. Try to protect the offense, keep everybody alive, which, I mean, I'm okay with. There's a certain element of contact that I miss, 100%. But every contact sport, hockey's gone like that. I mean, it is what it is. I think it'd be okay if pass interference is reviewable, but you got to get rid of it. You got to knock the challenges down. CFL's already had to do it. I think whether maybe a compromise is you get 1, if you get it right, you get a second, or only 1 of your challenges can be used on a pass interference call, something like that. I don't know how they govern that. I mean, you can. It's not terribly hard, but.
Well, I think this is going to stir up a lot. I think it's going to, because we've already said it, the play was called incorrectly, ultimately, and then when something's like that, it's incorrectly, that determines a fate of a football team due to a matter of a call. I think that's enough to bring it to the table and get that changed instantly.
At the end of the day, I think that first for me, you fire the ref, number 1.
Wow, both of them.
And
Back judge and side judge are the 2 guys that can call that.
I think that one of the issues the NFL is facing is that there's not a lot of young blood coming into their officiating.
No.
Like, there's that female official this year. She did a game, I think, this weekend. She was on one.
Yeah, she did a playoff game.
And then
for her.
you got Hopkins' son and his crew, crew this season that gave out the most penalties out of any crew week in, week out. And I think what we need to do is almost maybe use the college ranks and the spring leagues to train officials, scout for officials, and you kind of have to maybe have a sharing, or have full-time officials, or pay these guys a little more. There's got to be something where there's a draw.
But these guys they're full-time, 100%.
Well, but there's got to be a draw to it where there's competition for these officiating. You know what I mean? So Just like you have a pool of NFL players to draw from the college ranks, if you're looking for the best of the best, you should have a pool of refs where you're looking to draw from the best of the best.
Unfortunately, with officiating, it's kind of like when you get your driver's license. It sucks to get up there. You got to pass test after test after test. But then they leave you alone for 60 years until you get old.
So is it worth all the tests? Is it worth all the tests?
It is, but you got to kind of continually do it. And when guys get put in a crew, that crew stays together, right? Because there's the 8 of them plus everybody on the sideline, and they have backup officials, and they have the side spotters and stuff. So, I mean, you're talking a crew of probably 12 that work together every single Sunday, and then you have 16 crews that across the league. So, you're right. I think you can make it more competitive, whatever you got to do.
You use advanced stats for everything else. Why don't you use advanced stats for the officials?
Absolutely.
Pick apart which crews are the best, which ones aren't, and move on. I mean, then you can start to, mix around your lineups, essentially.
That way, that crew isn't reffing the conference final.
Well, that's exactly it, right? Like, you look at who's calling the penalties, who's getting them right, who's got a margin of error, and overanalyze it.
And because you're talking, when you get to the playoffs, there's maximum 4 games in a weekend. All right, so here's what you do. You take the top 6, top 4, ref all the games moving forward. You get, and if there's an egregious call in one of those games leading up, like wildcard weekend, say there's a crew that's just really bad, or it's just not a good game, a lot of weird bad calls. Okay, you bump them out. The fifth ranked reffing crew, they jump in for divisional round.
So different rankings, essentially.
Well,
they already kind of have that in place. Too.
Yeah,
I get, yeah.
But there's got to be advanced stats. There's got to be a governing body. I mean, hey, there's probably a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I mean, it's not a very widely talked about thing.
No. Maybe it will be now.
But yeah, I think things are going to change. I don't know what. Regardless of what happens, refs are going to miss calls.
Well, that's just it.
It's never going to not happen.
But that's the beauty.
I realize that.
That's the beauty of in-time sports. I think that's the term that's most commonly used with it. But in time, where you just have this happen right away, makes the beauty of the sport. But it sucks. Look at when we refer to baseball, the Armando Gagliaga from the Tigers, that no-hitter for sure. You can go to the
that's
NHL.
been brought up this week big time.
You can go to the Dallas Stars, Brett Hall, winning the Stanley Cup with Dominic Hasek. His foot was in the crease. But we're not going to talk hockey. But the point is that you have those calls in place, the right thing gets done. And I love the in-time reaction, but I want the call to be right, though. I want everything to be right. Well, seriously, that is my whole point with this. Where the fuck was he looking?
I mean, sometimes people get spaced out.
What was he spaced out for? You're reffing NFC Championship
Maybe
football.
he thought the ball was going elsewhere, and that's where he was watching. I mean, I've been detailed by a play before. I mean, it was pretty obvious where the ball was going, but from his perspective, maybe he thought it was going elsewhere. Maybe he was looking at something else.
Part of that, though, is that's why there's eight refs on the field.
Well, 100%.
Yeah, just in case you do zone up.
Back judge misses it. Okay, side judge, you got to get on it.
Yeah, someone's got to be
Once
on
the
that.
ball leaves, side judge is no longer watching, helping with the line play or anything near him out of bounds. He's not worried about that. He tracks the ball, gets upfield. He's basically responsible for anything like 5 yards and short or whatever, but he's going to track. I'm talking about like a 9-yard pass. Can't tell me.
Was it 9? About 9, 10 yards?
Ball's in the air. Turn, see it. He's early. Woo! And if none of those guys see it, there's a back umpire that's behind the goalposts that's got to see it, and then the head ref's right there. I mean, he would have had a perfect line. He would have been right behind Drew. What are you going to do? But, I mean, we could beat this to death. I could talk about this forever. But
We'll table a bit more discussion for it as the situation comes up more in the off season, because I guarantee you
they'll
it's
have
going
the
to come up.
they'll have the
It's gonna-
league meetings in March, I think, is when they start happening. So we'll find out more then and move forward.
Dave McCaig alongside Justin Hykel and Jamie Antonello live from the Sioux's Best Sports Bar, 30 in a row, Sportscenter Bar and Grill. Talk a lot about the New Orleans Saints and LA Rams game. The Rams moving on to the Super Bowl, winning 26-23 field goal. What a bomb! That just clutch, absolutely clutch. The Rams move on to play the New England Patriots. That's the New England Patriots defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 37-31 in overtime. Myself, Jamie, and Justin are going to talk about that in just a few moments. We went a little bit overtime in that previous segment, so we're just taking a quick break. When we come back, more in the pocket with myself, Jamie, and Justin live from Sportscenter Bar and Grill. Here from our sponsors. listening to the Twin Sault's only local, regional, and national sports show on thegamesportshow.com. Don't go anywhere.
The Game Sports Show would like to thank an additional sponsor and additional home to the Game Sports Show, Sportscenter Bar and Grill. Sportscenter Bar and Grill, located on 624 Wellington Street West, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Sportscenter rated top sports bar for the second year in a row. At Sportscenter, enjoy their famous 75-cent wing night along with delicious Molson products on tap, along with a great atmosphere and other great food options available as well. Sportscenter Bar and Grill, the Sioux's best sports bar.
The Game Sports Show would like to thank an additional sponsor and special edition home to the game, Silver Creek Golf Course, located on 104 Bellow Lake Road, Garden River, Ontario. And also shout out thank you to Silver Creek GM Jamie Henderson. Silver Creek Golf Course has many specials to offer for 18 holes, 9 holes, and even Twilight Deal specials. It does not matter what your level of golf game is, it is a must to enjoy the scenic course, memorable experiences that Silver Golf Course offers. Silver Creek also offers a Thursday wing night for you to enjoy food after a stellar time on the course. You can book your tee time by phone or online at golfsilvercreek.com. Silver Creek Golf Course, where all are welcome to play.
The Game Sports Show is pleased to shout out a partner, additional home, and sponsor to Northern Superior Brewing Company, located on 50 Pym Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Northern Superior Brewing Company having a strong presence locally with many beers to offer. With much involvement in the community of Sault Ste. Marie, Northern has a sport and friendly-like atmosphere within its tap room, and during the summer months, it is a must to visit Pier 55 to enjoy some delicious food, amazing view of the water, and view of the Bush Pulley Museum, right on the cusp of the Hub Trail, and of course, all of that down with a delicious brew from Northern Superior. Northern Superior Brewing Company. It's a northern thing.
Hi, this is Paul Maurice from the Winnipeg Jets, and you're listening to the Game Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Game Sports Show, the Twin Sault's only local, regional, and national sports show. Here live at Sportscenter Bar and Grill, along with good friends of mine, panel members, co-hosts of the Game Sports Show, football experts, sports experts, good-looking guys, whatever you want to say about them. Jamie Antonello and Justin Hykel. This is best sports bar for our third year in a row here at Sports Center. Packed house, as always, here at Sports Center. Wing nights, 75-cent wing nights. We got delicious beer on the table. We got great pizza tonight. Pizza is always on point, but it's on point even more tonight. I just had the Cajun wings, 10 wings, which is only $7.50. You can do your math. Jamie's impressed, so I just did my math on the spot like that.
I'm usually wrong, so good job.
Pretty impressed. But at the end of the day, I think we are on our diet, and we're doing a great job at it. Just kidding. We did talk at the top of the show that we were on. I went to the gym before we came here. Can't tell by how we're eating here tonight.
No, as I'm eating peas.
As we're eating some za. But anyway, fellas, we've had a good first part of the show talking about the New Orleans Saints and LA Rams game kicking off right in the pocket segment. And let me tell you, it led all the way to the commercial break. That's much better to talk about it. But we got to move on and talk about another football game, and that is about the New England Patriots defeating the Kansas City Chiefs in overtime, 37-31. This game was another game that lived up to the hype. What a great football game this was as well. Tom Brady, almost 400 yards, a couple of INTs in the game, but he did pretty well in the football game. I'd like to say, you have Sony Michel, as I said, Michael Sony on off air, or actually, you know what? I'll be honest. I said it on it. I said it on that, but that's fine. You guys can chirp. Sorry, I couldn't keep it for the outtakes.
We're not a live show.
But
Sony PlayStation.
we're only live on Mondays. We're pre-recorded Wednesday, Thursdays. But he had 113 yards, a couple touchdowns. Did Michael Sony. Sony Michel. I might call him that forever. I might just call him Michael Sony. Edelman almost had 100 yards as well receiving. Gronkowski about 80 yards, approximately 79 yards to be exact. If you want to go to the Chiefs side, you have Patrick Mahomes. 3 touchdowns, no INTs. Good matchup. They had Patrick Mahomes the second. I like that because I'm Dave McCaig Jr. I'm the second as well, Jamie. I don't know if you knew that. Fun fact. Sammy Watkins, 114 yards. Big game for the Chiefs. They had Tyreek Hill was limited to 42 yards. Still a pretty good presence out there. Pretty much one catch. He actually had one catch exactly. Jamie actually nailed that. It's like you know the game. And Damian Williams, 5 receptions for 66 yards, 2 touchdowns, leading the Chiefs in the way on the touchdown end. But the Chiefs fall short, unfortunately. It was I was actually playing men's league hockey at the time the game was on at the fourth quarter, unfortunately. But that's why we have smartphones and tablets, is where you can keep up with the games. And I was linking into a stream, as legal as that sounds. But I was linking into that and keeping up with that fun. But let me tell you, that was a great last 3 minutes of a football game I've seen in a long time. I caught in, and the time was 5:55 left in the fourth quarter is when I chimed in, and I chimed in at the right time, I really feel like. And then overtime, I got really upset in the locker room to say to watch it because, I'll say professionally speaking and respectively speaking, both of them, that congratulations to the Patriots, but I'd like to see the Chiefs get in. My final bracket had the Rams and Chiefs first off. Secondly, just young team. Love what the Chiefs can do. They're going to do great things, but the Patriots move on ultimately. Justin, going to you first. Talk about the game, man. Reaction. Tom Brady, of course. They're 3-0 in overtime. Interesting fact. 3-0 in overtime in the playoffs. Each time they've had it, they've never given up the ball. They've had it and scored each time. Did you know that stat, James? I got some tricks on my sleeve. Michael Sony.
Sony PlayStation, Xbox, sorry. Yeah.
Sony Michelle. Sony Michelle.
For sure.
Justin, just reaction about it. Of course, the Patriots get the fucking ball in overtime. And of course, the Patriots find a way to win and move on to the third consecutive Super Bowl.
It is what it is. I mean, if anyone saw the video I posted on Facebook,
Oh, yeah.
the Patriots making it to the Super Bowl reaction, that's how I feel.
Is that the one with the TV punch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, that guy. Okay, we're going to go off track for 1 second. That guy who punched that TV, I feel bad for any guy he punches in the face. He went straight through that TV.
Well, it was the Saints game.
Yeah, I
he
was going to
watching.
say, watch the video and he's watching the Saints game.
Tommy Lee Lewis gets knocked out.
And then the
punches
TV goes.
That was a fantastic reaction. I just can't afford to do that.
No.
I'm not punching on my TV every week. That's
It's an expensive habit.
It's not a sustainable lifestyle.
No, definitely not.
No, you must be loaded to be able to afford that.
That's good Angry Man. That's probably cheaper.
Oh, that guy wasn't impressed.
No, but I mean, back to the game. I mean, this one had its fair share of dramatics as far as penalties go as well.
Oh, yeah, yes, it did.
And a couple
Oh, yes, it did.
That no call on roughing the palm, but as soon as you touch Brady, there's going to be flags. There's like a guy.
How is that roughing? I don't. It's not. It's.
Well, what they called is they called a hit to the head. He didn't hit him in the head. He missed right in front of the face mask and then hit him in the chest. They called it. I mean,
So they can call that, but they can't call pass interference.
or Patrick Mahomes getting a helmet through his shin in the fourth quarter. They can't call that either. Because you go low or high on the QB, you're supposed to call it roughing the passer. I mean, ask Clay Matthews how he feels about that.
And the NFL is protecting their stars. Everybody.
Yeah, okay.
Why didn't they protect
League MVP, you're not going to protect them. It's wild.
I don't know.
Anyways,
It's nuts.
But whatever. The game was a war. It
was a
great
battle.
game to
Great
watch.
football.
It was just as good as the regular season matchup, and it, pretty well the same outcome.
Wouldn't you love to see the Rams and Chiefs still that 54-51
but
again?
You know what? As far
The Rams won that game, I believe.
As far as character building for the Chiefs go, I think this is a good model.
Oh yeah.
I don't think this is a bad thing to happen to Patrick Mahomes, especially in a season like he had.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of people are doing the Dan Marino comparison because Dan Marino reached his only Super Bowl in his second year, and it was also the year he shattered the touchdown record with 47, and then never made it past the conference final again. And I mean, Pat Mahomes didn't make the Super Bowl, so it's a little different. But Mahomes is going to win MVP. That's, I think, locked up at this point. It's not even a question.
That's awesome for someone in their second year.
So people are making that comparison. I don't think it's going to happen. Unfortunately, Kansas City is like a Big 12 team right now. They're built like a Big 12 team. They have decent pass rushers. They struggle to stop teams on defense consistently without turnovers. And they have one of the most explosive offenses you've ever seen.
They're going to be there again next year.
They are, 100%. I agree. I think they got to draft some linemen and some defensive guys. That's what they got to do.
Justin Deere, talk more about the game.
I mean, just watching that game, like, how do you defend wrong?
You don't.
Like, you almost have to just take a pass interference every time. If the ball's going anywhere near him. Like, I just take one at the knees.
Well, he might not get called anyway. So
No, you get called on ground for sure.
It's just terrifying running downfield. Like, he's this big, gigantic. He's like the Fox football of the ball.
Yes, he is.
That's how he's built. Like, and maybe I focused too much on that matchup in the game, but I thought it was fascinating because there's not a lot of players like him, and they usually don't last very long.
No.
Like him, J.J. Watt, like there's not a lot of guys that are in that mold
Yeah, just freakish.
Well, that's just it. Like, what do you... him, Brady, Edelman's a lunatic. He's like Wes Welker without all the...
I can't believe, though.
amphetamines.
Yeah, seriously. I can't believe that they just couldn't cover him running dig routes. That's all it was. They were setting him up there. It was just rub routes. They'd run a vertical, and he'd cut underneath. Every 3rd and 10. It was like 4 in a row, and I was like, okay, guys, you'll probably run Tampa 2 here and sit under it. Like, drop a linebacker, do something. I mean...
The Chiefs scored 24 points in the 4th quarter.
They got the ball back with 39 seconds left and scored. Like,
That's amazing.
it's wild.
How does Josh Gordon feel pulling the old Afro Man now?
Oh.
Could have been the Super Bowl, but got high.
Because I got high. Great song. You know what year that song came out?
I'm pretty sure that I was in like grade 9, which is at least 45 years ago. So, I'm going to say 2000. So I was.
I was going to
Killer
guess early
2000s.
2000s.
Because my grade 9 was 99, 2000.
That's hilarious.
Great
Spot
song.
on call.
It's actually still on my Spotify list.
Still, or do you think it's just in your spot?
It's never left.
Never left. It's one of the songs that I kept in there because,
Consistency.
yeah, that and marijuana is also legal. Well, but not to endorse marijuana on here, they're not a sponsor.
18 years later.
Not in all the Americans. That's Josh Gordon.
Yeah, exactly.
He's played in pretty well every state that it isn't.
But now, Tom Brady, of course, Jamie gets there to the finals again. Last year, we were at Sportscenter Bar and Grill. This year, the Game Sports Show will be here. Packed house we're going to have here for the football game. Yeah, the Molson fridge. I got slapped on the wrist a little. That I did not promote that at the beginning. I apologize. There's my "you blew it" moment. That's where I blew it there. But at the end of the day, they have a Molson fridge here.
Yeah, man.
As a fan comes over here and takes one of our chairs. How dare you? But they have the picture there as well. They have prizes. They give away every year. They also have shirts. They have winter socks. They give away stuff that Dustin, Grant, and Molson graciously give away. And we have a packed house here with the Game Sports Show crew and also friends of ours. We're going to watch the Patriots against the LA Rams. I always want to say St. Louis Rams. In the background, Jamie, they have the game that Tom Brady played against the St. Louis Rams back in 2002? 2001?
Technically 2002, but
Technically
it was 2001
season. Yeah. So, packed house here. So if you want to come in to watch Super Bowl, reach out to Sports Center to try to book a reservation if there's room to do so. But it's going to be Tom Brady's there again. And last year, Jamie, I actually started a chant called "Fuck You, Brady." Fun fact: I started that chant in here, and
How happy were you? that the
very
Eagles
happy,
won?
pretty happy. But it was the wrong Pennsylvania team that won. The Steeler fan over here, but the Steelers aren't there. But I will tell you right now, the Rams, Patriots, we're going to get to a little preview after the break. Brady gets there, of course. He has that video upload, Jamie.
Which one?
He has the one, ain't going nowhere. About Ferguson the bus. That's the viral one that went around the most, I believe.
The one where he's open mouth kissing his shows.
Oh, that one, that's another issue. We can talk
The
about
one
it.
where he's just with Gronk staring at the camera. Just,
Yeah, like they get
Or
the...
when he open mouth kissing his dad.
That's a weird one.
That's the only weird. Okay, that's fucking very weird.
And he wears ugly.
But what is the magic with the Patriots? What is it? Is it Belichick or is it Brady?
I mean,
It's everything, man.
if you
Or is it everything?
Yeah. If you want my off-the-cuff answer, it's evidently open mouth kissing and ugliness. And cheating.
And Jamie, just reaction about the game all in general. I went over to Justin. Your turn. Give us a little reaction and insight about the Patriots' win against Kansas City.
I mean, it was a good game. Both teams made good second half adjustments, and you kind of knew that was going to happen. Good for Andy Reid for at least forcing overtime, though. I'll give him that. Poor guy. I say poor guy, but it happens all the time. You got to start looking. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 12 times, I don't know what happens. At that
Tom
point.
Brady. You're
But-
Tom Brady.
Yeah. Didn't mean to use 12 there, but what are you going to do? Like you said, Sony Michel, PlayStation, Xbox, had a big game. Both running backs contributed. How about New England, though, busting out Rex Burkhead in overtime, fresh legs? As soon as they did that, I was like, man, he's got a little bit of juice in him here. that makes a difference, especially in a goal line situation where you got a tired defense that doesn't defend the run well at all, and sure. What else am I going to say? I mean, Patriots are back. They're there every year. We'll have to see if they're ready. If the Rams are ready. I mean, it's going to be completely different. You have a super veteran team versus a team with that has 5 guys with Super Bowl experience, whereas the Patriots have like a combined like 89 playoff games or something, like 36 players with Super Bowl experience. So big difference there, but. I mean, Sean McVay is going to make some magic, I think. I still like him despite how the Saints game went. I still like the Rams offense. I think they do some cool things. Their D-line's disgusting. The big thing for me, like we talked about, is how they're going to match up with growth. I know I'm jumping into preview a little bit here, but I think we beat it over the head about the AFC Championship game there. As soon as they won the coin toss, I felt like whoever had got the ball in overtime was going to go.
Yeah.
It's just.
Do you think they should change that format?
So I've heard a bunch of different things this week. The craziest one was they were like, just line up both offenses and both defenses at the other 25, whoever scores first wins. No downs, no time, go as fast as you can. I was like, all right, you're high.
Because I got high.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to a college-style overtime. That's really the only compromise you can talk about, though, where it's even and fair.
Give one chance to score, essentially. What about that one? Get the one chance. If the team scores, why not have an opportunity for another team to score? Give them the chance.
Within the current rules you're talking? Like kickoffs and stuff? Because college rules, there's no special teams other than extra points.
No, just in general. Whoever gets the ball first, you don't score a touchdown, then next point wins. But let's say New England scores, the Chiefs get a chance to tie it, redemption.
So you're saying the same rules as we have right now, but if a team scores a touchdown on the opening possession, the other team still gets a shot.
Yes, redemption. Okay. Just that's a minor revamp. Minor. It doesn't change too much. It doesn't change too much.
Personally, I dislike overtime and goal. That's just
What, did you want ties?
No,
Well, you can't in the playoffs. So
you
you got to
have a
you do
playoff
that?
tie, but as far as the playoff regular season, you just tie it. Because the NFL doesn't let us watch the games anyways when they go into overtime.
It's true. It cuts away to the next
They
game.
always have to be switched over to an Arizona Oakland Raiders or whatever team has a combined record of 4 wins at week 12.
37 losses.
Yeah, so we don't get to see it in the regular season anyways. You have to have it in postseason. Why not just give them a full 15 minutes? Whatever the score is after that.
So give them a full quarter?
Just let them play.
Does that affect playoffs or the season? Does that affect the rest and potential injuries? Are we looking for that way?
I don't disagree completely. I mean, that's what the NBA does. You just add it's an extra 10-minute period, 5-minute period, whatever.
Hockey, it's next goal wins, obviously.
Hockey's a lot different though because there's no set offense and defense. Everybody's on the ice.
Same with extra innings in baseball. The team who's on the road gets the 10th inning.
Yeah, but baseball's unique though because it's so stop and start. I mean, there's so much pause. I mean, football's like that too.
Do you like a redemption rule then? Or do you really just set on the college rules?
I would say I don't think it can be any more even than college rules. That's the only way I think it can happen and be balanced. Or what Justin said. And just have it be 15 minutes, whatever happens. If it's still tied at the end of 15, you go to another overtime. The issue with that is you risk super long games. But I mean, that stuff happens. We've seen triple and quadruple overtime games in hockey playoffs.
Yeah, the longest was Philadelphia-Pittsburgh.
Weirder stuff's happened. So,
all in all, good football game by the Patriots and the Chiefs. Congratulations to the Chiefs for getting there. I really thought you guys were going to pull the win there. However, Patriots move on to play against the Rams in the Super Bowl. And that's just going to actually jump to our next break here, fellas. We're going to talk about a little Super Bowl preview. Then we're going to talk a little bit of Raptors and go around to the chat before we conclude. We've got about 12 minutes some left here on the show. 15 if we're lucky to buy that extra time to talk a little bit more sports and conclude our in the pocket segments here at Sportscenter Bar and Grill. Dave McCaig alongside Antonello and Justin Hykel. the Twin Cities only local regional national sports show. Be right back.
The Game Sports Show would like to thank an additional sponsor and additional home to the Game Sports Show, Sportscenter Bar and Grill. Sportscenter Bar and Grill, located on 624 Wellington Street West, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Sportscenter rated top sports bar for the second year in a row. At Sportscenter, enjoy their famous 75-cent wing night along with delicious Molson products on tap, along with a great atmosphere and other great food options available as well. Sportscenter Bar and Grill, the Sioux's best sports bar.
Get Wicked Catering from the crew at the Wicked Sister.
We like to think of ourselves as foodies. While our favorite foods are paired with a beer tasting at the Wicked Sister, you can now have the same creative menu for your next catered business luncheon, family get-together, wedding, or holiday party. Our white truffle risotto appeals to your gluten-free and vegetarian guests. Add sautéed shrimp or freshly grilled chicken for a pop of protein. Or let us build you a custom menu to suit your needs. From plated events of 15 to buffets for 200, the Wicked Sister will cater your event with tapas, snacks, cravables, or a full sit-down dinner.
The Wicked Sister, where you'll be treated like family, whether you like it or not.
The Game Sports Show would like to thank a list of additional sponsors. North Shore Sports and Auto, new location located on 647 McDonald Avenue, Sault Ste. Marie. A family-owned and operated business with doing business in Sault Ste. Marie for over 10 years. Loads of products available for your enjoyment for all seasons. North Shore Sports and Auto, we understand the importance of quality service and products, and we work hard to ensure that all customers have a positive experience before and after each and every sale. North Shore Sports and Auto, meeting all of your new and pre-owned equipment needs. Special thanks to Salon. The Salon, located on 589 2nd Line East, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Owned and operated by Mike Cuglietta. Book your appointment today at 705-941-9191 or via online at https://thesalonsioux.as.me-. The Salon, making the Sioux beautiful, one haircut at a time. As well as a shout out to the Superior Pro Shop. The Superior Pro Shop, located inside a Community First Credit Union Superior Arena on 285 Northern Avenue East, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Owned and operated by Jeremy Paquin and ran by Larry Monroe. Superior Pro Shop, for over 40 years, meet all of your skate sharpening, skate repair, and hockey needs. Also to Discover the Canvas. Discover the Canvas, located on 317 Wellington Street West, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. A beautiful, new renovated building owned and operated by expert artist and Sioux native Katrina Thibodeau. Katrina taking her talents of the ink in Sault Ste. Marie and truly creating the best and most realistic art locally. Call Katrina today at 705-450-8099 or email her at discoverthecanvas@gmail.com to book your tattoo or consultation today.
Hi, it's Craig Hartsburg, former NHL player and NHL coach. Welcome to the Game Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Game Sports Show, the Twin Cities only local, regional, and national sports show. Here at Sportscenter Bar and Grill. This is best sports bar named for a third year in a row here on 75-cent wing nights alongside Jamie Antonello and Justin Hykel. Completing here on this next part will be concluding our In the Pocket segment, the Action Pack show as always. And if you're not making Sportscenter Bar and Grill part of your night, you have to make it a part of your night, especially tonight and on some wing nights here. Jamie, Justin, continue. We're going to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. We're going to have a full Super Bowl preview show, which will be next week here. But we're going to dive into the listeners a little bit of a tease to what we have up to date. Just some reaction in general about the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams. A little rematch. Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl against the LA Rams. Will this be the time that he wins against a team that it's all started from and maybe retires? Or will history be kind of a little bit changed to where Jared Goff, a young quarterback, comes in and defeats the New England Patriots to win the Super Bowl? Going to be a very good Super Bowl. We're in Atlanta, a beautiful stadium, newly built stadium. Goff, I think he's having a Super Bowl MVP type playoff. I feel like he's the type of guy that the Rams get ball on top, he's going to be a Super Bowl MVP. I think Darnold will also be really also considered for that as well. But Tom Brady has a chance to win another Super Bowl MVP if he wins it. A lot of good things going to happen in this football game. It's going to be a very exciting football game. And as I said on the Monday show, I predicted the Rams to win by a field goal, a game-winning field goal. Is what I said. It's kind of what happened this past week. But, Jamie, I'll start with you. Talk about the Super Bowl, just kind of some brief points, and how excited you are about the game between the Patriots and the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's a good game. That's all you can hope for, I think. Imagine if we get another overtime Super Bowl. That'd be kind of wild. I mean, especially after this conference final weekend. But You brought up Zerline. I mean, what's he going to do? Kick a game winner from 67 now? Break every NFL kicking record by 4 yards.
Would you let him kick from there if you're the coach?
It's in a stadium. Oh yeah. I mean, it's an indoor facility.
So if you're down by if you're tied or down by a point, 10 seconds left, you do it.
Okay. Who's New England going to put back there to return it that you're worried about? There's no Tyreek Hill over there.
No.
Plus you have Matthew Slater on your every special team. He's going to make the tackle. But I think big things going in. I mean, I saw a lot of people are making a big deal because Sean McVay actually played against Julian Edelman in university, Kent State and Miami, Ohio. Sean McVay played wide receiver. Edelman played quarterback. They went head-to-head twice. So a lot of people are making a deal of that. Sean McVay has a wild headshot of him playing at Miami, Ohio, with this brutal blonde bowl cut. He's got way better do now. I mean, that's probably how he locked down his wife. But Edelman's just all grit. I think his stats in the one game were like 19 of like 45 passing for like 260, and he had 23 rushes for like 100 yards. So, I mean, exactly the kind of guy that you figured he would be. But they split it, so a lot of people are saying this is the rubber match between them, which is kind of ridiculous. But, I mean, people are going to make ridiculous storylines. It's the Super Bowl. That's what it's for. As far as on the field, people are... we got to set an over/under on how many times it's going to be brought up about getting Tom Brady on the ground. Because every year it happens. They're like, how do you beat Tom Brady? You sack him, you get to him, you make plays. And I mean, when Philly did it, they really didn't get to him a ton except for one super crucial sack late in the game. But look at the other ones, the Giants beat the crap out of them. I think this LA Rams defense has a chance to do it.
Well, I think the X factor to me, maybe I'm just channeling all my hatred towards Tom Brady into Dominican Sue, who's a free agent. He's a free agent after this game. So if he'd like to make another big money in Miami Dolphins Sue contract, that's
what I do it. 2-12.
And then I mean Aaron Donald also is solid.
He's not even fair.
No, he's so good. So good.
I think the big thing, a lot of people, people are talking about, after Dexter Fowler made that big play, he forced Drew Brees to throw the interception in overtime. But he's guaranteed to get one-on-ones every single time. Because they're going to double Donald every single play. Sue's going to get doubled next before Fowler gets doubled. And I think the fact that Aqib Talib's back of that secondary, because it takes so much pressure off Marcus Peters. We saw when he was forced to be the number one corner, he was getting torched.
Yeah.
Different system there. When he was in Kansas City, he was on his side, but a lot more zone. Kind of like that Richard Sherman thing. Because you saw he had that one big season, he had 8 picks. You're playing a lot of zone. You're going to be able to look at the quarterback a lot more. We haven't seen a guy since Darrelle Revis who was able to play man-to-man every single snap and still get 4 or 5 picks in the season on like 12 targets total, which is absurd. But I think Aqib Talib helps. The big thing is matching up with Gronk, we talked about. I think that the Rams actually match up well picking up backside of the backfield. James White is definitely the X factor there. Sony Michel is no slouch. He's just as good a receiver as White, I think. Maybe not as quick twitch, although I think he is. He's still a ridiculous athlete. But can the LA Rams get a running game going?
You got one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best.
Yeah, they're not going to use him. They're probably going to be C.J. Anderson more likely.
And they have C.J. Anderson playing for a contract next year.
Exactly.
So, the Rams are... I feel like the Rams are kind of at a point of an advantage where they've got a lot of players that are playing for big money. The Patriots just got their usual guys playing for big money. And I'm not trying to downplay the Patriots in that statement by any means because they've got obviously a history of success and quick games. But over and over again, like Jamie said, all we've heard is the key to winning against Patriots is keeping them on the ground.
Everybody says that.
If there was a team that was ever built to do it, it's this team. So, if that's how you do Brady, then just shut up.
And they've got the defense to do it, the Rams. And they have an offense that can counter after they get on the field. You don't guarantee to get it with 40 yards. You're guaranteed a field goal there anyways.
You beat the Patriots with block management. That's it. But you can't give Brady time on the field. You can't give you have to frustrate him and Belichick equally. Keeping Brady on the ground and not giving Belichick rule the clock during the entire game, I think that's how you're going to win. The Patriots are too good at basically taking over a game and just making you play their way.
And last week, I mean, David, you can pull up the time of possession stats and the plays, but versus Kansas City last week, they, I think, doubled them in every category almost. Time of possession, they definitely doubled them in plays. They ran almost 90, or I think over 90 plays on offense. Kansas City ran less than 50. So, yardage-wise, they almost doubled them up as well. I mean, absolutely insane, and that's the exact opposite of what LA needs to do. They have to eat up clock. They got to be, I'm going to say, like 35 minutes at least of possession. Yeah, and they've proven they can do it. I think New England can. I mean, they're always going to have a decent scheme. The other thing to think about here is Brian Flores, who's the defensive. I mean, they call him the defensive play caller in New England, not the coordinator. I mean, he is the coordinator. He's the linebacker coach as well, but it's pretty much locked in that he's going to be the Dolphins' next head coach. So you kind of have that little era of thinking about it. That's exactly what I was going to bring it up.
43-59 to 20-50.
That's
time of possession.
Yeah, they more than doubled them. And I mean, discounting the overtime drive, they were still pretty much completely doubled. So it's the exact opposite of what needs to happen. LA needs to run the ball, control the clock. Aaron Goff needs to play pretty much mistake-free football. I don't think he needs to probably get away with a boo-boo here and there. But, I mean, you can't throw a big pick late in the game. You can't have a big sack fumble. You can't get yourself into 2nd and 20 on a stupid play. Stuff like
Smart
that.
play. You have to, like you said, keep Tom Brady to the ground, I think, for sure. Fellas, that was in the pocket. We're going to stop there with our Super Bowl preview. As next week, we're going to do a full preview show here at Sportscenter Bar and Grill. Myself, Jamie Antonello, and Justin Hykel here at the Sault Ste. Marie's best sports bar named 30 in a row. Listen to the Twin Cities' only local regional national sports show, live from Sportscenter Bar and Grill on his favorite 75-cent wing nights. Fellas, we're going to transition to two topics that I'm going to bring up to the table. One, of course, being basketball. The one bonus topic that Justin actually tagged us on Facebook about today. I'll get into that in just a few moments. That was our In the Pocket segment, including that, talking about the Saints, Rams, Patriots, Chiefs, and a little bit of Super Bowl preview. Comment below what you think of the Super Bowl final prediction. If you predict the winner and predict the score, you might get a bonus prize courtesy of the Game Sports Show. Don't forget to like our Facebook page to be in a like giveaway contest courtesy of our sponsors and the Game Sports Show Legal 95.1. Fellas, I'm going to go into the first topic, though, about the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors tonight fall to 36-14 of the season, losing 110 to 106 to the Indiana Pacers on the road. A little bit outmatched in the first quarter, and obviously going into the fourth, the Raptors did rally back, however, did drop the decision against the Indiana Pacers. The Toronto Raptors were not with star Kawhi Leonard, who is still going to be resting, keeping him rested and ready to go, even without Jonas Valanciunas still in the lineup. Pascal Siakam with 16 points, Kyle Lowry 20 points, but leading the way was Serge Ibaka with 23 points. And going in the way of the Indiana Pacers, you have former Raptor Corey Joseph, who had 7 points on the night, but leading the way was Thaddeus Young with 23 points for the Pistons to get the win and squeaking it at home as the Pacers go improve to an under-the-radar record of 32-15. This is a team that nobody's talking about and a team that nobody should want to play in the first round. Let me tell you, as the Raptors are still considered second in the Eastern Conference, we all know who's tops in the East, especially based on talent. When that team gets healthy, watch out. As the Raptors are still finals bound according to the odds and to favorites and sports experts. Now the Raptors, Jamie and Justin, I'm just going to say right now, they got the Rockets on Friday, and earlier in the season, when you said the Raptors are playing against the Rockets this weekend, that was going to be a matchup. The Rockets, obviously, this year not having the year that they want to have, obviously with a little bit of issue, are having the Houston Rockets. A little bit of, Carmelo Anthony gets traded. The Rockets are 27-20 after their win against the New York Knicks and the Golden Knicks. But with the Raptors playing them on Friday. They do expect that Kawhi Leonard will return this weekend, and that's 8 o'clock in Houston. Sunday, they play Dallas, the Mavericks, at 7 o'clock on that Sunday. And then I'm looking at the matchup next week, which I have highlighted on the calendar, Raptors and Bucks at home against Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, the Raptors, you know what, Jamie, let's be honest, they've had some up and downs and the injuries. You got to be real here. The injuries that they faced with Kyle Lowry with his back issues. Jonas Valanciunas actually had a pretty good year. Kawhi Leonard's rest. The Raptors have shown their depth and have done a good job despite their injuries.
Yeah, I mean, Kawhi's got to play Friday. That's big. I mean, when he's not in the lineup, I mean, it's
noticeable.
It's a different team, right? I mean, his presence offensively and defensively is known. And when him and Kyle, we need him and Kyle to just play it together as much as possible. I mean, we're not talking about guys that have played together for 4 or 5 years. That you have that chemistry no matter what. Those guys need to be ballers. They need to do what they can do. And, I mean, we just got to try and win as many games. That game against the Bucks is big. That's pretty much a head-to-head that's going to help with first place tiebreakers eventually, I think. So I think we need to push forward here. We'll be all right. I mean, getting Valanciunas back eventually is going to help, just from a rotational perspective. I mean, that's our strength, is how deep we are. We have 10, 11 guys that can play on the court at all times. There's not a big drop-off. You see a lot of teams, there's massive drop-off. I mean, obviously Kawhi leaves a hole, but he's really the only guy that leaves that big a hole when he leaves the court when he's not out there. But head-to-head versus the Bucks should be big. I'll have to see how that happens. And I mean, just keep pushing forward to the All-Star break, and then it's home stretch, man. I mean, if you want home court, go take it.
Toronto sports in general, very excited. The Raptors, good comments for sure there, Jamie. Justin, I'm going to throw you here just a little obvious comment of sorts. The depth of the Raptors. Pascal Siakam this year. The attention especially he's getting from the media and how he's playing well. You got to be proud of being able to say, you know what, you can afford to give Kawhi a rest. You can afford to have Valanciunas hurt. Not that you want everyone to wish that on the player, but he can be hurt and you can have that depth and still win basketball games. You have Serge Ibaka come back from injury, has been a force. Leading the way tonight, been very well. Monroe plays very well. They have a very good deep team. And going in deep into the playoffs, resting Kawhi Leonard, are you against it or not for it? We've talked about it on the show. I've never fully asked you the question. But are you for it or are you con it?
Well, Kawhi's a guy who's been there. He's been through the grind with the Spurs, and if this is what you need to do to keep him healthy, so that you have him push the Raptors to the next level once they get to the playoffs, then you got to do that. Why not? I mean, I don't think he's 4 games now he hasn't played, and they're still doing all right. I think tonight was 4 in a row. I think. What are they putting him in Friday night against
Houston?
Yeah. So, I mean, that'll be an alright one. Nothing crazy, but you figure if they're going to play him, they're got the Pacers. But he's not in the lineup. Lowry's getting, he's looking alright right now. The rest of the team's looking fantastic. So you can afford to not have him in there. And then come the playoffs, I mean, not really any team is used to you playing in full strength.
Raptors this year, looking like very pretty in the loss against the Celtics recently. I will tell you right now that the Raptors have a team that's extremely deep and great to watch. And the thing is that they feel like they're a unit. They're deep because not only the talent, because of how close they are in that locker room. I got to give credit to Nurse. He's got a team to put together. He's got a team that he can definitely work with, but he's doing a great job. As the coach replaces Dwayne Casey, who's having some troubles over in Detroit currently, as the Pistons are very surprisingly having a little bit of struggles. Dane McCaig alongside Jimmy Antonello and Justin Hykel at Sportscenter, using our new and upgraded microphone system. Still loud here, as always, at Sportscenter at the bar. Jimmy, we've got one more topic we're going to get to before we complete the show. I know you were looking at me wondering, and Justin was like, what the heck did I take you guys in today? Or maybe we figure it out now as I brought it off. You do very tags. And this is the topic that we're going to bring to the table. As Nathan Inch was unable to come by tonight to Intercontinental Inch, hopefully we'll have him by next week. But we're bringing another topic here, and that topic's going to be this. If you could sue one athlete for your loss of enjoyment of life, who would it be? All right, so I'll tell listeners right now, I can tell you guys like this topic. I get some laughter here. I get some excitement at the table here at Sportscenter. Barstool uploaded. Barstool Sports. You can follow them at Barstool Sports. There's a little promotion for Barstool.
Yeah,
like they
'cause they
need
need extra promotion.
Like they need extra. They uploaded a picture of David Ortiz. If you could sue one athlete for loss of enjoyment of life, who would it be? Now, that is, let's say that you're a Toronto Maple Leaf fan and the Carolina Hurricanes got the winner in 2002 to move on to the Stanley Cup Final against the Detroit Red Wings, or if you're trying to figure something ahead. If you're the Toronto Blue Jays, Andrew Miller. You got Andrew Miller right now thinking that you may have walked. If you could change that, or if you have the Chicago Cubs fans taking away that one athlete, Bartman, even though he's not an athlete, do you still sue? Like, we can take it out. We can be creative with this, okay? I know a lot of people look at a lot of curses in sports, and I know the most common answer was Tom Brady, just being Tom Brady. But just think of a moment in life in the world of sports, and I'm throwing you right under the bus. You have to take a slight pause and talk about absolutely something else before you can come up with your answer. I'll give you guys forgiveness on that. But come up with an athlete that you would sue based on your loss of enjoyment of life. Jamie, you're first.
Man.
Try not to say the ref from last Sunday.
Or that DD. I don't know. This is a tough one, man. I mean, I laughed pretty hard when we got tagged in, and mostly I was just reading the laundry list of comments are great, and the list of damages that they're suing for is hysterical. But man, I don't know. It might be like Kevin Bieksa. I'm a big Blackhawks fan, and there was one series back, I think 2011, we're going back to, maybe 2010, but against Vancouver, Vancouver went up 3-0, and then went Chicago tied and forced Game 7, and then Bieksa just goaded us into a stupid penalty, made his stupid face. I think just one of those things. I mean, Chicago and Vancouver went back and forth for about 4 or 5 years in a row. I don't know. There's not really like one guy. Like, it's not like I'm a diehard Yankees guy and I hate David Ortiz, right? And even like in Justin's situation, I mean, being a Colts fan, I mean, you have to hate the Patriots. So I mean, Belichick or Brady is one of those guys. But I don't. You can't count Belichick in this, right? Because we're talking athletes only. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one for me to pick. I mean, I might think of something later and jump in. Hopefully, it's before we finish recording.
So it's hard. You're saying nothing right now. You got.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Justin, obviously you tagged, so you know what I'm going to you right now.
I'm going to take some pretty big shots here.
Let's go.
Like excellent sized shots. One of the first playoff series I remember, becoming a hockey fan and a Leafs fan, Gretzky's high stick on Fillmore.
Yes, there you go. I was gonna say,
this
but
is
I was
the
young.
highest of shots you can take.
Yes, yeah. See, I wasn't old enough. I wasn't
absolutely classless.
I wasn't old enough for that, but that was definitely on my head.
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I could take it all out on Terry Frazier, I suppose, for missing the call, and then down the road getting a blog on TSN where it was like, ask the ref or something. You want to ask him? He doesn't know fuck all about shit. He knows how to, let Gretzky get away with vicious high sticks. Screw us all of Leafs Montreal Cup final. Or, I mean, just in general, the city of Boston.
Fair.
I can't.
The city of Boston is probably universally hated, unless you're from Boston.
Well, that's the thing. I can't. I don't really have anything against the Celtics or the Boston Marathon, I suppose.
No, but there's no matter what, if you're a sports fan, I think there's at least one of those 4 teams from Boston that you can't stand, or you're tired of them winning.
Well,
at the very least.
I just happen to despise the Patriots.
Talk about Patrice Bergeron in Game 7, which will lead me to mind. People are going to be very surprised. But it's not that 2013 game against Boston that has me all sorts of rabble, because that game, first off, makes me want to jump out this window here at Sportscenter Bar and Grill thinking about it.
If
and
you
I don't.
Gardner, I'm going to throw you through the window.
And it wasn't even the fact of Patrice Bergeron. It wasn't really one
Please
athlete.
say Jay Gardner. I want to film this.
It's almost like Matt Fratton before I would say Jake Gardner, Justin, to be honest. It'd actually be Cody Franzen, Matt Fratton, then Jake Gardner. Not that order. Fratton be first, actually, and Cody Franzen. Why Franzen? Just wasn't a big fan. That was Gardner's best hockey he's ever played in 2013 playoff matchup. But anyways, that not even that game, because it wasn't one specific athlete that got there was a Boston Bruins team battling back, and it was Randy Carlisle putting his fourth line out there in the last 2 minutes of the game before he realized, shit, that we got to smarten up. The player that I want to go, people are going to be probably surprised. I'm sticking with Hawk with this because Justin and Barry are going to answer with Wayne Gretzky. Martin Gelinas. Martin Gelinas. Now, people are going to wonder what the heck you're talking about. The last time the Toronto Maple Leafs made the conference finals was in 2002. Now, I'm a Jays fan. I saw Andrew Miller come out of that bullpen and literally embarrass the Blue Jays. But again, it wasn't fully him. Cleveland played some good baseball and beat them. Martin Gelinas in this game got the OT winner. It was one athlete that got the winner and was there at the right time that eliminated the Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 6 to avoid a Game 7, which would have sent Toronto to the Stanley Cup final against the coming Detroit Red Wings, who won the Cup that year with a stacked team with Robitaille, Hall, and everything. I don't think the Leafs would have stood a chance. But we wouldn't know, would we? Martin Gelinas. With under 12 minutes to go in overtime, Gelinas took a pass from behind the net and beat Curtis Joseph to surpass the Stanley Cup Finals. Before overtime, Matt Sundin tied the game with 25 seconds left in the third period. I remember being 11 years old this time, and I was up with my dad. He let me stay up late to watch the game. And I went to see the Leafs that year, and I was actually on TV for CBC. Cujo's best for Canada is what I said, because that's when Salt Lake was there, and he got hurt before Martin Brodeur won the gold medal for Team Canada. Carolina Hurricanes defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup final, and I want to sue Martin Gelinas because he was the reason that the Toronto Maple Leafs did not get a chance for Game 7 and did not get a chance to move on to the Stanley Cup final.
I mean, if I can toss an honorable mention in there, the Saints Super Bowl winning kicker. Onside kick, motherfucker. Jared Hartley.
Think of a pure name yet there, Jamie, on the other side, or am I still got you all sorts of stuff?
I haven't, to be honest.
I got you all sorts of stuff.
You can even pull back to like high school. If there's someone that burns you.
Oh. Well, there is, but only I feel real bad. I'll tell you guys off air.
Come on.
Okay.
You could just say like Mr.
Well, I mean, for starters, it's like a rest in peace situation.
Oh.
So, not the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
No pressure. Okay.
Okay, we'll pass on from that.
Okay.
But I want everyone to comment below.
I didn't kill anybody.
Okay, I think you did. No. But comment below on what athlete you'd like to sue. Barstool, I like this post. It made people laugh here. Martin Gelinas for me, Wayne Gretzky for Justin, and who the fuck knows for Jamie? I think it's this like
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I think it's the DB from St. Louis.
The whole Tampa Bay.
2017, 2018 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just finally broke them.
Fellows have been live here at Sportscenter Bar. It's been awesome.
There it is.
Do you want to go because he sucks?
I just hate his entire existence.
Wow. We're on a sports show.
It's everything to do with him. I just hate him.
That's why he's now a New Orleans Saints fan, people. But I didn't tell you, the last 2 years haven't been pretty shitty exits. At least his team made them. Fellas, before we conclude, that's going to conclude our whole entire show. We have two topics on the round table. It's obviously the Raptors, as we always have on the round table. That athlete who we'd like to see most. And we were in the pocket segment prior to that, recapping the NFC and AFC Championship and the Super Bowl teams before our Super Bowl show next week, and also where we're going to preview the Pro Bowl. We don't have time to fully discuss it here today. On today's show, a lot of good stars going. If you want to watch a football game, there's a lot of stars, and maybe people that don't care about playing a game as much as they do in a regular season game. Just saying. We're going to recap it, though, next week here at Sportscenter. Myself, Jeremy, and Justin.
You want to watch an entire group of men play like Antonio Brown and then watch the Pro Bowl.
Le'Veon Bell won the Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl.
Just kidding. I got one piece of announcement before we wrap up the show. I want to say happy birthday, plus someone speaking of rest in peace. Good friend of mine, one of my best friends, Matt Howard. It would actually be his birthday here today. Obviously went to Sir James Dunn, play football. Obviously, who was tragically taken from us far too young in a car accident in terms of being hit by a car on Queen Street. You can see his cross on Queen Street, right across from Norna. Also, that was in 2000, and that was the year that Canada won in Salt Lake. Was 2010 that it happened, and it happened in February. So the anniversary of the 9 year coming up, and it just feels like yesterday that happened. So I want to say happy birthday to one of my best friends who passed away, and obviously I miss him every day. And you want to miss him and think about him every day, and every time the Toronto Maple Leafs lose a game in dramatic fashion, or when the Steelers or Jays lose, I can hear his laugh in the back of my head saying, haha, feel it, McCaig. Because that guy turned me like nobody else when it came to the Toronto Maple Leafs. But maybe he can be nice this year and let them win the Stanley Cup for him. Happy birthday to Matt Howard and Matt's from the Game Sports Show. Shout out to his mother, Pat Nisbet, and obviously Dane, who couldn't be here tonight. Obviously one of his close friends there as well, and Jamie Hill as well from school. Happy birthday to Howie. MH15 lives on for sure here in Sault Ste. Jamie, Justin, I want to thank you for coming on by as always here. Justin, be first. We'll see you tomorrow. Antonello Superior will be there at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
6 o'clock. So I'll see you promptly at 6:15.
Jamie, as always, thanks. Next week, let's do this again.
Yeah, I'll be here. Looking forward to it.
Let's do his best sports bar, 3rd year in a row. I want to thank you to Franklin Gore and to the beautiful Alicia White.
Easy.
For great service, as always, and to the fans of Sportscenter Bar and Grill, acknowledging us as they walk by and being a part of Sportscenter and playing the 75-cent win night. And to you, the listeners, always making us a part of your night here for the Twin Cities' only local, regional, and national sports show. As you just heard me say to Justin, we will be at Northern Superior Brewing Company. That will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then we will be at Icebreakers. It's an upcoming Sunday at 8 o'clock to make up to myself and Brad, and either or one of Justin and or Dane will be coming there as well. So we have a couple more shows to cover here this week before we're back to the usual schedule again next week. Monday with the sister, Wednesday here at Sports Center, Thursday at Northern, and Sunday at Icebreakers. But make sure you follow us for tomorrow night at Northern Superior Brewing Company at 6 o'clock. It's been David McCaig here at Sportscenter Bar and Grill. And until tomorrow, from Northern Superior Brewing Company, thank you again for making us a part of your night. And to make sure you keep your stick on the ice, catch your touchdowns, drain your threes, and shoot your shots. Booyah.